Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is time to do a GreenStalk update. For those of you new to my channel, I'm Kim and you're at Kim's Cozy Corner. I have 11 GreenStalks throughout my garden and over at my neighbors. And I want to give you an update on how my GreenStalks are doing. Now, I am an affiliate of GreenStalk, but all of my GreenStalks I purchased long before I became an affiliate. So I want you to know that this is my honest opinion, and you're going to get to see the honest review of how my GreenStalks are doing. We are in mid-August, and in mid-August, things are starting to die back, and I am planting some fall, more cool season crops. So you're going to see a variety of things. You're going to see towers that are doing really well, but you're also going to see some towers that I need to spend some time. They need some love. So let's just go ahead and get started. In this tower here, we are actually in the garden and the main garden space, and you're going to see a variety of things. In the top here, I have my basil, and my basil is tired. It's tired. It needs a little love. It also needs a little bit of fertilizer. I haven't fertilized in a few weeks because I've been traveling, but I'm picking the flowers off the tops. I don't want them to flower because if they flower, it changes the flavor of your basil. So let me pick some of that off. But in the very top, there's basil. It does have some yellowing leaves, but other than that, they look pretty good. I'll probably pick some of this and get it in the dehydrator. And some of these other levels here, I have empty pockets where I've pulled stuff out or where I've planted seeds and they didn't germinate. I do have a cucumber plant here vining across. There's a lot going on in this tower. I have tomato plants in here as well. There are green beans in here that need to be harvested, by the way. Here's some more green beans. They all need to be harvested. I do have pepper plants in here as well. So it's just a variety of things. Let me turn it one more time. There are pepper plants in here that are about to turn red, so those are good. And I have tomato plants that are still blooming. So I have blooms coming on. And I have picked tomatoes out of here as well. There's tomatoes down there. So it's a variety of things in this particular tower. There's some more tomatoes there. But this is just one. Oh my goodness. I missed this. I didn't know there was a cucumber. Look at that. That's a white wonder. This is honestly the first decent size white wonder cucumber I've gotten this year. And there are more green beans down here that need to be picked. So I need to spend some time and give this tower a little bit of love. There's a teeny little crookneck squash in there as well. But that's one of 11 towers. Let's move over and look at some of the other towers in the garden. Now, this is my strawberry tower right here. There are 7 tiers and 6 pockets in each tier, so that's 42 plants. And I may have an empty pocket or two on here, but for the most part, all of these pockets are full of strawberries. Now, the strawberries gave me tons and tons of strawberries all the way up until probably the 1st of July or maybe mid-July, and then it got so hot, and so I wasn't getting any strawberries. But my daughter's telling me that they're starting to come back in again. She's getting a half dozen or so a day, so they're starting to come back in. And they are putting on tons and tons of runners. So these are strawberry runners that will give me more strawberry plants if I strategically place them. So here's a pocket that looks like there's nothing in it. And I am going to just place that runner right in that pocket. And that runner is going to take root. So here's up close. Here's one of those runners I was telling you about. And this part right here will take root and give me a new strawberry plant. So that's what I just did in that pocket there. I've done it before on some of the other pockets. And now those pockets have something in them. Here's an example of one that I did before that has taken root and creating a new strawberry plant for me. But that's my strawberry tower. Now, strawberries are perennials. So look at that. There's a strawberry. They are starting to come in. They are perennials, and the strawberries will come back next year as long as I don't let them dry out too much over the winter. But there's my strawberry tower. If you're interested in a GreenStalk, or if you're thought about purchasing a GreenStalk, please click on my link in the description below and it'll take you to the GreenStalk website where you can see all of the accessories and everything that they have to offer. And if you use my coupon code Kozy10, here it is right here, Kozy10, you will get $10 off your purchase. And it doesn't have to be your first purchase. So if you're interested, you might as well save some money. Kozy10 will help you save that money. This tower has cream zipper peas in it. In the very top, I planted some additional basil, and it didn't germinate very well. I have a couple really good pockets, and then I think 4 pockets they didn't give me anything. I think there's 3 pockets. There's a little something in this one here. And the bottom 3 tiers are just cream zipper peas. Now, I had very poor germination with my cream zipper peas, but the ones that did germinate, they are looking healthy. They're doing well. So I have some really good pockets and not so good pockets, but hopefully we'll get a harvest on those cream zipper peas. Now, this is my pride and joy. This is my sweet pepper tower. In the bottom, I have a lot of what I call horn-shaped peppers. Like Thunderbolt is the name of this one here. Let me get up close where you can see one of them. Look at the size of that. It's a thick-walled, sweet horn-shaped pepper, and it's delicious. And they are doing really, really well. And I have those across the bottom. The next layer up are different types of bell peppers. So there's a red bell right there. They're coming in nicely. This next set of pockets are a variety of things. I have some more horn-shaped peppers up here. These are, I think, Joe Parker's. Yeah, this is a Joe Parker. I have shishitos. Now, they're not sweet, but ooh, I like to blister these and dip them in ranch dressing or other types of dips. It's delicious. So I do have tons and tons of shishitos, which I need to take care of. I have paprika peppers up here as well. I don't believe there's any plants in here at all that didn't do well. I have some Jimmy Nardello peppers, which is a frying pepper. Everything's doing really, really well in this tower. Now, this tower is in need of some fertilizer as well, so I'll make sure I get that done this week. The tower right beside it here, these were different types of bush tomatoes or dwarf tomatoes. Some of them were determinate, some were indeterminate or semi-determinate. So determinate means they put everything on at one time. Semi-determinate means you'll get a heavier harvest and then a smaller harvest throughout the season. Now, initially, this was kind of slow to take off, but you can see that there's lots of blooms, lots and lots of blooms on here. I did have a few pockets that completely died back. Like here's a pocket right here. It completely died. I honestly should have cut it out just in case that was some kind of disease so it wouldn't spread to the other plants. But if you can see, this tower looks amazing. It's deep green. It's putting on new blooms. If you see the blooms up there or not, can't tell if you can see it. And I'm harvesting quite a few off of here every 2 or 3 days or so. So as long as it stays happy and productive, I am happy as well. Like, look at this section right here. Big, healthy plants. They're putting on some nice sized tomatoes. Looking good. Now this tower is on the patio, if you want to call it that, of my she shed. So there's my she shed. So it's not a flower shed. It's not a vegetable, even though I put vegetables in there, but it's not a potting shed. It's a she shed. It's a place for me to go and relax. Just don't have time to use it right now because it is harvest season. But in this particular GreenStalk, it gets really, really good morning sun. It gets some afternoon sun because the sun sets this way, but it doesn't get that super hot evening sun, which is a great thing. So in here in the very top, I had some collard greens that I need to manage. I need to get these things out of here. The collard greens are done, completely done. So I need to get those out. Once I get them out, I'll put in some cool weather crops of some kind in that space. And this next level here, it's a hodgepodge of things, right? It's all kinds of stuff in this particular tower. But I have in here some melon plants that have 0 melons on them. I've harvested all of my cabbage. So I had 2 cabbage in here, and you can see where I cut it back and harvest it. And we're actually having it for dinner. Over the last, 2 days, we had the cabbage for dinner. So I harvested, there were 2 heads in here. I harvested both. In the bottom 2 tiers, I have different types of peppers and tomatoes. Now in here, there was really no rhyme, no reason. It was just extra plants that I had started that I needed to find a home for. And so I have cayenne peppers in here. Now, it says that these were treasure peppers, but I think some tags got mixed up. These are absolutely cayenne peppers growing in here. And they're very happy. I also have another pepper here. Now, this was supposed to be a poblano. It obviously is not a poblano. And so I am going to assume it's some type of hot pepper. And I'm going to need to do something with it. They've turned red, so I definitely need to manage those. I have been harvesting some tomatoes on this plant here. There are some tomatoes back there. There's also peppers in here. Look at that. It's a nice size. That's another thunderbolt, horn-shaped sweet pepper, thick wall. And then down here, some more tomatoes. A lot of different stuff in this particular tower. And I mean, some things that are doing really well as some things I need to take out and prepare pockets for something else. This is the tower I put to the entrance of my neighbor's garden. And there are a lot of different things happening in this tower as well. So we did have in the very bottom some broccoli and some cauliflower, and that is done now. and those have been removed. And there's new lettuce plants in here that my neighbor started from seeds and transplanted them into this container. We do have some herbs in here. So there's some oregano, there's some basil in here as well. More basil. There's some marjoram in here. And he transplanted some spring onion in here. So he used all the green pieces. He left the little white on the bottom and just planted them in here. And now he has spring onion to use whenever he needs it. There's some thyme in here. And then in the very top, we had micro dwarf tomatoes. And there were so many tomatoes coming in, we definitely couldn't eat them all. I froze at least a gallon bag of these tomatoes. And we are in the process of turning those into some type of sauce. In the very top, we have carrots, some type of lettuce as well. And the carrots are doing really, really well in there. I don't know if you can see them or not. So this tower has a combination of summer plants as well as cool season crops going on at the same time. And there's a few open pockets, so I know there's more to add to this particular tower. So we are headed over to the patio. Now this is my most shaded area. It gets morning sun and just a little bit of evening sun in this space here. And this is where I need to do some work and spend some time. This tower here is a tower mostly of different types of lettuce. Now I have some lettuce here that's bolting, right? But as of yet, it's not bitter, so we will continue to eat that. And then I have some lettuce that's very happy and doing well in here. And then I have some that are just getting started. So I have lettuce in multiple stages in this tower here. Many different stages of the lettuce. Now I did have in the very bottom, in that particular pocket, I did have some spinach. And the spinach is just not happy this year, but that's okay. I got enough of everything else not to have spinach this year. And this, in the very bottom, I also have some carrots growing. And there's an empty pocket with nothing, so we're going to have to fill that pocket. But there's carrots, and I think about 4 of those pockets on the bottom. And those will be for a very late fall harvest. Right next to that tower is a tower which mostly has herbs in it. So in the bottom 3 tiers mostly, I have different types of herbs. I have rosemary, I have parsley, I have thyme, I have marjoram, I have oregano, I have sage, I have a lot of different types of herbs. I even have in this pocket here now, I know it doesn't look so great, but these are some chives that came back from last year. But those bottom 3 tiers are all different types of herbs. In the top 2 tiers, I have a mixture of strawberries, which if my daughter didn't take them all, there was at least a dozen or so out here that were ready to go that I saw this morning. So the strawberries are doing really well, starting to produce again. And I also have apparently weeds. Let me get these weeds out of here. And micro dwarf tomatoes in the very top. Weeds, micro dwarf tomatoes, and strawberries. And look, there are all the blooms. So these strawberries are ready to start putting out more strawberries for me to enjoy, or should I say my girls. Now this particular tower has been going nonstop since I believe March, if I'm correct. In this tower here are different types of greens. I have what we call dinosaur kale here. That's been here since March as well. I have not replaced any of this dinosaur kale, and I haven't harvested either in the last month or so. So I really need to get that harvested. In the tier just above it, I have curly kale, which is the second planting of my curly kale. And in the very top two tiers, I have different types of mustard greens. So just different types of greens in this pocket. And I have one lonely pocket, so I planted onion. I had never planted onion in my tower before, so I used one pocket and I started my onion from seed indoors, and I planted them in this tower here, and I planted two. I've harvested one and used it, and there's another one here. The neck is still nice and strong, so it's still growing, but that's a nice size onion in there. So you can grow onion in your towers. In the very bottom of this tower here, I have some empty pockets that I need to take care of, but I want you to see all states of the tower. And then the tower that needs absolutely the most work. So with me being away and not paying close enough attention, those cabbage moths landed, laid their eggs, and decimated my collard greens here. So there are so many holes in the collard greens. They just had a field day. They're fat, they're happy, and they enjoyed all of the collards in this particular tower. In the very top of this tower, though, I do have some lettuce that I started a few weeks ago that looks like it might survive from the cabbage worms. They're looking really good. And in the very, very bottom of this tower, I had two types of tomatoes. Again, I had so many tomatoes. I planted at least, and they continued to grow, but I planted at least 120 tomato plants, and they are still growing. There's no tomatoes on this particular one, but this one here has tomatoes. It's a German Kiss. I harvested some off of these earlier this week. And then I have a couple pockets where I cut out the bok choy, and so those pockets need to be replanted with something. So my plan for this tower is to remove all of those collard greens and plant some more cool weather crops in this tower when I have time to get around to it anyway. There you have it. If you're interested in purchasing a GreenStalk or learning more about a GreenStalk, click on my link below and it will take you to the GreenStalk website, and you can learn more about the different products and accessories that they have there. And if you're interested in purchasing one, use my code Kozy10 and you'll get $10 off your purchase. And it doesn't have to be your first purchase. Every time you go to the website and you put in my code, you should be able to get your discount. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will keep these videos coming. I have a playlist with nothing but GreenStalk videos. If you're wanting more information about a GreenStalk, check out my playlist, and there's tons and tons of information there of me setting up GreenStalks, how to manage your GreenStalks, watering your GreenStalks, fertilizing your GreenStalks. It's all there. So until next time, I will see you back here again real soon. Bye.